Hi, everyone. My name is Rehana Tejpar, and I'm a leadership coach with Bloom Consulting and currently the coaching residence at the OTF Youth Opportunities Fund. And I'm really excited to be in a conversation with Thaila Dixon, someone I've been working with as a coach for the last 6 months. Hi, Thaila.
Hi, my name is Thaila Dixon. I am the executive lead for the Collective of Child Welfare Survivors, an organization that is led by and facilitated by child welfare survivors and allies, where we support families, children, and youth who are navigating child protection, family policing, by way of providing services and programming.
Such a divine human. You should definitely look her up. Okay, let's start at the beginning. What was going on in your leadership or your career before we started to work together? What challenges were you facing? Like, why were you drawn in?
Yeah, so I'm a child welfare survivor, and I was one of the co-founders of this organization. And I was in one position, which was community development and outreach, which felt very comfortable for me, was more hands-on frontline type work. But I was also have had another job on the side. I was a tattoo artist and store owner. Um, I was, you know, we went through some leadership changes, and it was highly encouraged for me to apply as the executive lead. I didn't want to be executive lead. Like, I did not want to lead. I did not want to be in this position at all. But I felt a duty and a responsibility to the organization to stay and to do the work and to try. And I was really navigating a lot of there was a lack of internal structures with onboarding, et cetera, but I think I was also just navigating a lot of insecurity, self-doubt, a lot of self-blame language developed over time. Like, being a survivor of that sort of trauma comes with its own baggage. And I didn't, as good as I was, I think administratively, like that I could send an email, I can write things, I can budget, I've had to do these things. There was a lot more coming up for me that I hadn't realized was going to be present. And so although I had some skills, I was taking all the opportunities from OTF. I took all the opportunities from OTF, all the trainings, and then I landed in Rehana in your training. I felt like your approach to teaching really resonated with me. um, and then we had the free coaching sessions. And I was like, I'm gonna take it. So that's kind of like how it started.
Oh, so great to hear all of that. And what made you decide it was time to get support through coaching? Like, what made you choose to work with me specifically?
I began to recognize what was coming up for me, and um, what limitations is a strong word, but yeah, but what my limitations were. And I was I knew that I needed something. I knew that I needed help. Um, and it was offered. I mean, I'm like a spiritual person, so I'm just like, I feel like everything was just in alignment. But yeah, I knew that I needed the support. I knew that I needed support that was not just about like the structural, like that's a large part of it, but not just like the structural, administrative, the writing parts of it, but also as a survivor with my lived experience. Like, I needed a particular kind of holding or a space that could hold the complexities of that.
Mm. And what was it like? What was the coaching experience like from your perspectives? Were there any like pivotal or moments or breakthroughs that stand out to you?
The coaching sessions felt very grounding. Um, I was dealing with a lot of fires and a lot of moving parts within the organization of like having to fix what was not present or build what was not present, but then also, yeah, fix what the issues were while also building things that were not present. And I just felt all over the place. And I felt like I was in like active, like survival mode almost, you know? And the sessions felt like a place where I could be grounded, a place where I can be heard and validated, but then also like largely a place where I could be challenged and provided yeah, like groundedness, stability. I don't believe in safe spaces, but like a safe like a safe space um and then also like I think that you were able to see where I was. You were able to see me in a particular way, what my needs were, how we needed to navigate it. And like in that, in supporting me, I was able to get to the tasks that I need to do. I was able to learn to slow down. I was able to learn different methodologies of like how to engage the work and how to engage, um, yeah, and how to engage in self reflexivity within work too. And like, yeah, there was definitely a breakthrough. I mean, there's been tears. There's like one moment that it's so vulnerable, I don't know to share, but um yeah, I don't know. Like for me, there was a moment where I felt very truly seen and validated and then encouraged and supported to hold that for what came up for me and then to apply it then, you know.
Thank you. And what changes have you seen in yourself since sort of building on that, like to apply it? Like, yeah, what's been the change in your leadership or in your personal life, professional, personal?
I so at first, you know, there's a meeting of each other and you get a sense and I yap and you ask really great questions to get to the source. I shared my fears, I shared like what my principles were, what I was battling with having my principles and then being put in a position of like hierarchy, which was like not feeling good. And I remember us getting to this place of like, okay, well, what does a collaborative leader look like? Right. Like, so we did this a lot. I feel like the first, our time together was about like building out like what can leadership mean in alignment with my principles, in alignment with my organization and the needs of my organization. Um, and I mean, that's like like I'm sure it's like a frame, a point of reference somewhere, but yeah, it really felt like we had a goal. It was to understand this thing is to be not only step into what I want leadership to look like for myself, but also to define what it could look like.
Mm,
Um, and so, oh my gosh, yeah, I like the changes I've seen has just been my decision making processes, how
mm,
I hold space, like facilitate space, like actual space, but then also like how do I listen to my team? Like, how do I engage with my team members and the people that are also doing this work? And like, how do I show up without abandoning myself or abandoning my principles? And so, yeah, I've seen a huge change and shift, um, even just like at the organization where it is the type of leadership that I wanted to engage in. It's not just top
mm,
down, but also,
mm.
yeah.
That's profound. That's profound. And that's such a testament to the work that you do on yourself personally, as well as the coaching. And what would you say to someone who's thinking about maybe coaching with me? Um, like, is there anything you'd like to share with those folks?
Oh, yeah. I think the most important part, at least for me, was knowing that I needed the help and being receptive to it. Being receptive to the idea that I might not know everything and there might be another way to do things and there might, you
Mm,
know, different methodologies and open to them. Like you know, like with the like breathing techniques, for example. That was like so difficult for me to do at first. Like I could not
mm,
like do it. And now I like use it like a superpower, but like it's difficult. It's difficult work to be responsible for not only a team and organization of people, but also the people that we inherently end up serving. And it's a lot for an individual to carry. And it's a lot of responsibility. And we all know not for profits and grassroots, like the money's not there and like the benefits aren't there necessarily. And so I think that we, often to want to like super like make ourselves into these superheroes or these martyrs. And I don't know. I think that it's really important. I think what's important is to be seen, to be validated, and then to have tools developed around your specific needs. It's very tailored. Working with you has felt very tailored. Um like and supportive and transformative, honestly. Like I don't know that I would have been able to connect with like another business consultant. Like I there was a caretaking that was also a part of this that was necessary. And as people in leadership positions, we don't often have people that are also caring for us, right? We're just the caretakers. Um, so in that way, like already that fills such a need and such a gap. But like I said, it wasn't just, it was the like the emotional support was a large part of it, but another large part of it was like tangible, actionable. And I felt like all the goals that we set out for ourselves, even up until like the trauma informed training that you provided our staff, which also shifted our culture largely. Like you helped me with a conflict that I was having with an employee to see things from a different perspective, to put myself back in alignment with what my values were. Like even in that moment, I felt like was just such an example of like how you engage this work and like how intentional you are with in engaging this. Cause it was like holding me accountable while still being like, yeah, no, I get that. Like I hear you, I see you, let's return to like what you yourself say and how you yourself, and it was the relationship with that person has been great moving forward. So yeah, I would encourage people to have this type of support. I really do. I really think that it is important as leaders, and you will gain something from it for sure.
Thank you so much, Tyler, for your courage and your story and the work that you do for yourself, for your community. It really is such an honor to accompany you. And if anyone out there is interested in coaching, please reach out and we can connect and explore.